to work is one woman and being.
So
I've been to that.
Are we looking at perhaps who's the has the Kotoko? We are now we are similar. Is Prof is his job safe?
But
Kotoko?
they were appointed under different circumstances and they were given different targets. The owner of the team made it emphatically clear to the Kotoko following that
100% support.
Prosper is now building a team. He's not been tasked to win any trophies, but that's just a Menchia narrative. The real deal is with the supporters, and Prosper Nateogi himself is feeling the heat. 3 consecutive defeats.
Interviews.
The other day, I had to catch a bottle that had been thrown at him at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium by one of the fans.
Oh dear.
So gradually it's building up, and I'm just hoping that they'll be able to get things working.
Now, football fans cry, again, what is our problem?
Yeah, they need win. I'm not guaranteeing or I'm not justifying those
so
behaviors.
what would Arsenal fans do with the millions? What would Liverpool fans have said 30 years without a trophy? What would Manchester United fans say now?
I think it's about sensitization and education.
You see, let's be real.
It has to do with the culture, of these people. It looks like...
Are we hooligans? Are we hooligans?
Our culture, our culture is going to be throwing things around when things go wrong. That's not our culture.
That's too extreme. But then also, like we're saying...
quick remedies, quick wins.
And it's not... And for Hearts of Oak in particular, you look at the last 10 years and there's one reason why Kotoko have dominated the league more than Hearts of Oak. Hearts of Oak was a team that won a record 6 consecutive titles.
The two clubs slept
with a single coach.
But in the last 10 years, you can count as many as 20 coaches.
So consistency.
So they are lacking the consistency.
And not to cut you guys again.
There's one thing people drift from when this Hearts of Oak conversation comes up. And I think it should not be swept under the carpet. People have questioned the managerial structure of the club, whether it's the best in terms of moving an elite professional club like Hearts of Oak in that direction. Clubs are being run more corporately these days with proper structures and functions and responsibilities for individuals put in key positions. But here are supporters of Hearts of Oak consistently question the direction the management is taking the club to. And this is something I think should be looked at again.
A lot of investment, no doubt, but what's the word? You said something about is our culture? Is that what you said?
It has to do with the culture because it's not right.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, but Liverpool supporters were supporting the team, since their dominance in the 80s. I think they went 30 years without a single Premier League trophy. But then every single time you see that the Anfield is filled up to the brim.
And there's something also happening in African football which you can use, you can juxtapose, even at club level. You look at Ali and the rest, there's some consistency. Whoever comes, there's a template.
Exactly.
Internationally, or even club level again, Europe, Ancelotti and the Rares, Pep, Klopp, there's
some continuity
to build.
with the
there'll
project.
Be ups and downs.
That's what I was asking.
So why don't we learn from them?
You look at the latest action from Hearts of Oak. What do they tend to gain, when the next person comes in? Is he coming to continue from where Koopman left off?
But what is Eboedu Babak?
No, true. Like,
Sika Akono.
Oh, Sika Akono, right,
no,
right.
There's been several names. Lots of names.
Thrown about. But I get the feeling they might go for an expatriate again.
So
they still have the technical director at post.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Right. That's quite an interesting one. So it's not as if we have a plan B.
No.
In case of a shortage of fuel, we have some in the back to let's get rid of him and then look at...
But yeah, you look at the long term and you ask yourself, what are they trying to do? What's the project about?
They want to win the league.
Probably man is there, the secretariat.
But football, you see, the fans do not care about all these things. But then the fans do not care.
They are important.
Build them the best stadium, 100,000 capacity stadium.
Then you win.
And if they are not winning,
after that,
there will be an uproar. And that's what we are seeing. So it's not about, yes, those things are fine. New secretariat, a new training facility. It's nice.
They've even had advice from the NSA boss who says that, they should, Consequent Hearts and Co should build their own stadium.
They need the results.
And manage it.
Because it was so, you listen to the fans and, it's so frustrating that you drive all the way from the house to the stadium to watch your team play and they are not scoring goals. It's very, very frustrating.
Quarter, you've not reached halfway mark and you're panicking.
The journey is a long journey, but it begins with steps that can help you thrive when you're moving forward.
Absolutely, I agree. But
first round, but no worry. So they need to clear things
but
up.
Maybe I'm seeing it differently.
That's what I'm asking, say, what is the guarantee? Say, the results, but because the thinking was that, Matic is arrogant. Matic the players are tired. He plays Serbian mechanical football, no flair, this, that, get rid of him. Matic goes, and my own friend, Oklu comes. What did they achieve under Oklu? Oklu will tell you, he'll give you reasons why he was unable to be successful. But I'm saying that nobody cares about the reasons. You just were unable to produce the results everybody was looking for. So these are decisions that are of high risk. It either backfires or it goes to your advantage. But previous happenings have indicated that there's no guarantee the sacking of Koopman will bring us to success.
Very interesting. Now, commentary position, Sisiaone, Josiah, in terms of the vibe, the energy, who's saying GPL? What?
The entirety of the GPL.
Yeah, you can feel it when you enter the stadium before the match, some hours before, all your preparations, the interactions. Osha, is it building up? Fans' engagement, are they locked in?
It is, but specific venues, and it depends on the quality of the game that is coming up. For instance, in Century at Samatex, the vibe,
super,
week in, week out.
Super.
The down spark, BBNE. The team is not performing well, so you'll be thinking that the fans would boycott them, but the fans are rather, trying to double their efforts to get the team back to winning ways. So they always turn up. But now, the hottest place with a vibe is in Swatere. In Satraman are doing a great job with the performance on the pitch. Okay, this is
Samatex, another.
Yeah, an exciting place to be at.
Kayake and his boys.
In Century. So Kayake has rediscovered himself, and all of a sudden, people want to pay and go and watch Kayake. He's scoring brilliant free kick goals. The vibe is there. So, you are going to Samra Boy. When there's a free kick, you are guaranteed a goal from Kayake. You are going to in Swatche. There's no way the home side will drop points when they are playing at home. Look at Bofakwa. On their return to the Premier League, they made Sunyani a party town every time there's a game. And, the economy of Sunyani as a township booms whenever Bofakwa is playing. So,
football business.
Trust me. I heard Ojo Nyaku the other week saying
igniting passion, creating wealth.
Yes, Ojo Nyaku saying the other week that he's thinking that this Premier League season might just be the most exciting with a positive vibe. And like I've said, with the selected areas that I've witnessed, I think it will be good. The reason Kotoko and Azovo cannot enjoy the same buzz and vibe,
the others are taking over. Yeah, and the other clubs are taking advantage of their home fortress mentality. We've not seen Pando yet.
No, going there. You see, they have a problem. And the earlier they fix the problem, the better. Because you can't survive this Premier League when you are playing at an adopted home grounds. It simply won't work. And so, for them, they are a bit disconnected.
They need to get to their home.
They are a bit disconnected from
their fans.
Their fans, the core fans who were able to push them to qualification into the Premier League. They moved to Sogakope, quite a distant away. So
this week, this season, free kicks have become.
This goal was scored in Bichim.
Yeah, I say every team has a free kick.
Comeback victory for me.
Apia McCarthy against Heart of Lions in BBNE.
And he did it against Hearts of Oak.
In the next game.
And, I don't know what happened, but he won Hearts of Oak before the game was going to score against them, and he did score. He's an expert. He's a specialist in these situations, McCarthy.
That's the one.
That's a Hearts of Oak goal.
Yeah, if he hadn't...
So these things, if you're neutral and you don't even attach yourself to a particular club and you are near these venues, you love to go and watch these things, yeah. These make the game beautiful. Yeah.
Free kick after free kick.
He's got the technique. He's got the ability to bend it. And this one from Issa in the Kotoko Dreams game.
No chance for the goalkeeper.
No, two goalkeepers are not stopping this, yeah.
Another one here.
Entry against Dreams. Against
Yeah, you notice that it's either the goalkeeper is totally beaten.
No, you don't move. You are motionless.
To me. Excellent.
Great goals.
These are obviously, if this was Messi, we'll be
the words
making.
You might not find enough words to describe them.
Right. Yeah. So we need to hype. Not hype, but just give them the credit that they do. But this weekend's games also bring another dimension. Kotoko are in big trouble. If they lose against Midiama, definitely they will go bottom.
I think we've seen what's happening with Accra Hearts of Oak, but not Kotoko. And it's even shocking to think about the fact that Hearts of Oak are ahead of Kotoko on the league log. Kotoko are in the red zone, but then also, they face a very, very tricky, contest in that Mediama game. Last season, they lost at home, 2-0 to Mediama. And I said something on Friday, Nanadakwa, if you'd remember, I told you there's a possibility they could lose both games, especially after losing that Samatex game. Now they've lost to Samatex, away at Samaboy. They stay at home and play against Mediama. Mediama are in some, top shape now, the way they are playing. Yes, it's shocking they lost their home game to Brecum Chelsea, but then they are playing some fine football. So how are they going to play? And, after that crunch presser that Ogum held, it looks like the players haven't really responded. That's not the kind of response you'd want to see. But then you pardon them because maybe it's a difficult ground. Maybe it was an away game. Now they play right in front of their fans. After all that happened, how are the fans going to receive the team after their last away defeat? Now coming back to the Barbara Sports Stadium, what is going to happen over there? So, yeah, I think a lot could go into that game. But then also, that could be the game that gives us the indication that the players have down their tools. Maybe they don't want to work with Ogum anymore. It depends on how, they react to that Summer Boy defeat. It's going to be a crucial game for Kotoko.
Big game indeed. That's on Sunday, Sunday afternoon at the Barbara Sports Stadium. And of course, the big game on Friday, which is just, around the corner. Black Stars. We'll talk about that. We'll have time to talk about the Black Stars and their preparations as well. There's a lot of positivity. A few downsides with players unable to make it for the match. But we'll talk about that as well. And hopefully, we'll have enough time for you to join in the discussion when the phone lines are activated. Let's go for a quick break on the GPL headquarters. We'll be right back.
GPL Headquarters.
It's Season 2. IMAX Boxing Promotions, in association with the Ghana Boxing Authority, presents the Ghana Professional Boxing League. Save the date. The headquarters of Ghana and African Fight Nights, the Bukom Boxing Arena, will sparkle once again and burst at its seams with a packed venue, mesmerizing music, explosive fights. Join boxing lovers from all walks of life. 2 brand new Renault Logan vehicles up for grabs to the overall best gym and the ultimate best boxer. Sponsored by Renault Ghana. Premium Motors Limited, and supported by Soccerbet, Techno, Max Buy, and IMAX Electronics. Hurry and grab your tickets now. Popular stand, 10 CDs, ringside, 30 CDs. Be seated by 7 p.m. before the action starts. Live and exclusive to Max TV. It's the Ghana Professional Boxing League Season 2.
Get ready as the 4 beautiful ladies grace your screens again with their charming looks, smile, and hilarious comments from the novellas. Novella Watch and Win is back, bigger and better. Step 1. Watch Max Novellas very well every evening, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Win.
GPL Headquarters.
All right, welcome back. And yeah, igniting passion. I'm now beginning to really see what it actually means, because Nana made a point there that because of the passion of the fans, that is actually
some good job off the field. But when the league began, life started treating them to Premier League football. The rude awakening that, hey, you're not in Division 1. The same thing is happening to Hearts of Lions. For them, they didn't recruit, they didn't do any, big signings to boost their squad. But I'm saying that the buzz and excitement that we feel at in Saint-Tre and in Soatre, we would have seen similar in Abrankesi if they were winning games and, they were doing extraordinary things in the Premier League. But they've entered and they are performing like an ordinary First Division side. They own their stadium. They've gained promotion to the top flight. but they're just playing like they were playing in the first division. You don't attract the numbers and the buzz like that.
But they've not been that bad. I mean, we saw the potential against Kotoko in a game they should have won. They had so many chances. Dan Lad saved Kotoko from perhaps conceding.
Worry that the Kotoko fan sees you as an enemy, quote unquote. Look at their reaction when they play the 2-2, destroying the stadium property and all that. So there's no way they're going to turn up for Nations games because their team is not performing. They are wishing Nations to lose more games.
But again, it would be good if you have a team giving you competition in Kumasi. And normally, traditionally, it brings Kim Fires were trying.
They don't like what they do is to
get rid of you.
Come into your team, get your best players. Whatever that happens to you, it's not their business. They did it Cornerstone. The likes of Frimpong Mansoon, Emmanuel Lampia, Mohamed Odum, all of them came from Cornerstone to Asante Kotoko.
I say feeding a bit. There's nothing wrong with that.
What the money we are now for team Negu.
But you look but you look at this Nations thing. I think they have too much to offer than do that because they have. I think that the strength is there.
Financially,
financially the strength is there.
They are strong.
Yeah, but then
sporting wise,
a bit take your time.
Do they have that level to compete at this stage? Kotokush came, we saw them, they went back. The difference between the two is that Nations have got the financial backing. But if you look at the football they are playing and the quality they've displayed, they are not there yet. They have a good coach, but he's going to struggle with this team.
They've had some unfortunate decisions going against them.
Yeah.
I mean,
a similar one was that one against, I think, Great Olympics, where, that ball resulted in a penalty.
All 18 clubs in the league will tell you decisions have gone against them.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, but then I think they will come good. It's just a matter of time because they also start with most of the players that help them gain promotion to the league. And they have a very, very good man at the helm, a very, very good tactician in Kasim Mingle. He's a very, very good coach.
Kasim is a good tactician. He did so with Bichim, but he had built the Bichim United team over 4 seasons.
So maybe he deserves this time too. Maybe.
I mean, they showed character coming back. This is full time, even though extra time was, injury time was quite long. They at this point, you feel that, Kotoko had won it. They did well, stood in there, came back, and were able to get the draw. Controversial scenes we saw in there. But that aside, you won't have Kotoko or Hearts come in every week. So you need to find a way to get these fans continuously and constantly coming in.
Exactly, because when they were playing in the Division 1 league in Zone 2, and they were winning games, this stadium was a fun zone every weekend when they were playing, until their qualification, until their coronation game. But everything has turned around in the Premier League because the results are not. Imagine Nations winning 6 games out of the 10 they've played. Everybody around Lake Busumchi, Abrankese,
a lot of
that area would have wanted to go there. But they play and it's virtually empty stadium because results are not coming.
Yeah, let's hope they turn things around. I'm sure the investors would really be interested this weekend. We're seeing that interesting scene from that game where the penalty was given. And the rest, as they say, belongs to history. But let's talk about history. And Madagascar, they're in town. Been in town for a few days. They're calmly, quietly. I would be a little bit worried if I were Chris Hughton because the expectations are that Madagascar would fall 3-4-0, maybe more. But reality might be different.
I have that feeling as well.
That they'll fall 3-4 goals.
I'm positive about a heavy fall. I'm convinced these guys will hit the ground running in an amazing fashion.
They must.
It's a must. You don't concede 6 goals in 2 friendlies and expect to give a performance that will not bring back the confidence of the fans in your team again.
At home.
At home. And everybody knows how Ghana as a country has approached World Cup qualifiers. It's a national project, right from the president of the land to the ordinary Ghanaian fan going to pay money at the stadium. It's a different vibe. We all know the positives that the World Cup brings. And this Black Stars team in particular have been, in the spotlight in recent times. Just last week, there were talks about a possible exit of Chris Hughton. Then, fast forward, last Friday, there was a meeting between the Executive Council of the GFA.
Later shots, obviously, and that
last training day
session
before the game.
That's right.
And there is a press hub before the game as well.
And there's stability. When you look at the techniques, guys were all in Qatar.
Well, the technical team have been consistent, with the exception of Otto, who left. Everybody else is still in the team, and it keeps the team in a positive direction because of the bond that exists between the technical team members. And I think it's good vibe for the team. But all these do not matter if you don't bring results. I'm happy to see him in the team because he's had a very good season with Leicester since moving on loan.
Yeah,
I mean,
assistant,
Isahaku,
scoring,
he
playing
scored
regularly.
Yeah, and it's good to have the captain back. These days, nobody's going to say we have a clubless captain. He just signed for Le Havre. Here is Kassim, returning after a long layoff. He's barely played this season, but he's okay. No. Antoine has scored this season. He scored against Liverpool this season.
Yes.
So, you know, he's coming good at
He's always lively on the pitch, isn't he?
And he's a warrior. He's playing this national team like he was born and bred in Ghana. But he is a player who, you know...
Oh, boy, no, they are cool. Oh, yeah.
Or a groundsman.
Exactly.
You know
he's plugged in.
Yeah.
When you're in camp, you realize that he
flourishes when he's playing.
Right.
Although I think he can play about what he's doing now for Ghana, but you know, it's a fine team that the Ghanaians have.
Nana, I'm sure, you know, as Josiah obviously has been in relatively less than us, but these are scenes that you would stand outside the stadium and just to see the Black Stars coming in. That alone.
Me, no. Some of the national team, you know. Now you know me first born here, born park.
There's a vibe.
What is it? The nostalgia.
Yeah, because you don't get, you see them on TV, you don't get close.
You know what I mean? But yo, it's nice. Okobodra, I'm on full video. When the air you look at the branding, Ashimori is returning, it's good for the team.
Yeah,
but,
options.
Yeah, these things do not matter. Okobodra, we Ghana for. This is a World Cup qualifier. In the last 4 editions of the World Cup, Ghana has missed out on only one, and that was in Russia. And so, that World Cup, it's been played in America, Canada, and Mexico. I'm all for us 30 years to World Cup.
I'm telling you.
Some players were, park
Absolutely.
You have to remember,
it's
the World Cup that made you who you are. If you crack a West Ham, I'm going to be a good tournament. And wouldn't you be happy to play a second World Cup consecutively? And to the players themselves, I think they should know the task ahead. Today we spoke to Sam Johnson. And Sam Johnson spoke profoundly. And in the end, all of us on the set, on the radio, everybody that called into the show, the people that texted, were full of praise for Sam Johnson. You know what he said? He says his biggest regret as a player is the fact that he wasn't able to give back to Ghana anything from what he gained from football. And it's not about something materialistic. He wished he achieved something with the Black Stars, i.e. World Cup qualification or delivering a trophy.
Yeah, technical team, especially Boateng and Didi. These are the pillars for Chris Hughton. He needs to have these guys. They've got to be behind him. They've got to see what he cannot see, hear what he cannot hear, back him up, be his eyes, his ears. They know the terrain. Perhaps Didi more than Boateng.
Didi is an information source. Didi is a think tank. Didi is a CAF coaching instructor. When CAF license A courses are organized for coaches, Didi is one of those lecturers who are teaching coaches to come out with certificates. And the good thing about this team is that Enes Nyama is from Right to Dream. Mumin did not show up. He's from Right to Dream. Kudus is from Right to Dream. The likes of Kamaldeen, Right to Dream. Okay, about 6 of the players who were trying to build this national team around for the future were all nurtured by Didi Dramani. He knows them. Didi knows Kudus than anybody else in the Black Stars setup. And Didi has been around for long. He's the most detailed person amongst the 3 technical men. And I think he complements the effort of Chris so much that it's positive for the team. The other day, Josiah and I were at the stadium. Chris had come to watch the Hearts-of-Oak game. He was down. He called Didi to pick him up. When he came, he told Didi he didn't want to go and sit at the VVIP. So they went to sit somewhere around the lower VIP with the fans. And this is the kind of, camaraderie that you're expecting to exist between technical team members. It has a reflection on the team, and the ultimate is the results that they produce on the field of play.
Yeah, and there's another aspect of the World Cup campaigns that you've seen. You said it at the beginning. It's a national campaign. It's everybody comes together regardless of whatever differences. There must be unity in this side. And the day are you coming back is one person who's been in World Cup squad where he knows what to do, what to say. He can sense things and even vibe and feel players who perhaps tense, fear, doubt, anxiety, he can go to them and say, Charlie, let's go and do it. His inclusion is so important.
It's great for the team. It's very, very important here. And, you know, talking about seeing it all, you know, achieving it all, he's won the Youth World Cup before in 2009. He's been at the world stage before. He's played with the biggest, you know, stars in world football before. So I think, you know, his inclusion this time around really helps the team. And, you know, you look at how the team has fared in recent times, especially the psychological aspect of the whole, you know, team. And it's been down. The spirit has been down. So having him back is I think it's a good thing. You know, I didn't even subscribe to the fact that he shouldn't be called up because he's clubless. We've seen national teams, you know, because you need space for these people. You know, you need space in the team for them.
I think the people who say that are basing it purely on I'm looking for that word. You know,
Sporting reasons.
Sporting.
No, but sometimes it goes beyond just the sport.
Yeah.
You know, he's won the World Cup before. He's missed the crucial penalty at the World Cup before.
And also selection principles. But as you can say, you can put that out.
Yeah, you could also argue we have 25 players. Not all 25 players are going to play.
Yeah,
that's the point. So what's wrong with including him in the squad? There's nothing wrong with that. And I think, you know, it's a good thing from his management to have found him a club. At least that, you know, kills off any argument about the player not being active, you know, and not playing actively.
Apparently, he had options.
No,
not
that's
just in France.
The point. That was the point I was going to drive.
He had options.
What many people do not know is the fact that Andre has never been short of suitors.
Before he left Nottingham.
Andre has never been short of suitors. And it's something people must get clear here and now. He decides where to go, his comfort, where he's going to feel at home, the philosophy of the team, the acceptance by the coach he's going to play under, and an assurance that he's going to get playing time based on his performance.
Good. So, I like what he just said.
What I'm trying to say?
There's something else we should also point out that contract-wise, I've seen players' contracts, and it's one line that players always want and they fight for, and they can take days back and forth. Playing time.
Yeah,
and some players
games,
will not sign. Obermomo, $25,000 extra. If I don't get extra playing time, I'm sign it. Others don't mind. I'm sign it.
For instance, Andre Odin face
33.
33. And to say, oh, Andre, some do about baby to say Bentley, and I'm do about baby to say Bia, said Brentford. Now, but catch him some no your contract say they be able born Bia. Meaning, myself, Fakua would do no. They be our Uber soon to mammy the also the optimum. So we have to reach a compromise. Uber, but I can't guarantee you consistent playing time.
Right.
You get me? If Andre had played more than 15 or 20 games for Forester,
No.
But
I think they even managed his time over there.
But he's the most, what's the word to decorated and experienced Ghanaian professional footballer still playing.
Arguably.
Yeah. That guy, there's a likelihood.
Obeko next World Cup, Bompire.
A bad dim, but next AFCON, a bad dim, but impossible.
Okay. Yeah, call line also. Hello, good evening. Sorry. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Yo, you too.
Former Kotoko under 20 player.
Okay, I'd say.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, for my mentor. You knew what we had about. The follow from someone out in the So, I read one. Kotoko, me am Kotoko. The who said no, my Kotoko, no. No, a bit happen to anything. But going forward, no. Me feel got to commit my start bounce back. Also starting from coming from this match against Mediama. Also, we to compare yeah, big teams now. Chelsea, one it smaller teams in the struggle, but one I can finish here or could be and to be said. I think to come on to 20 we see one half of the ball, Mediama, one
big matches.
Coming Sunday, no, let's start from the game with the win. Now, boost morale with other players. Now, other matches, that is my suggestion. And number one.
Okay.
Number two, so to the Black Stars, man. The day you are only team was still out in many we make us come how many years or but to about him and 2-3 years in the film. And he say you master a baby be a system be a be a good moment in that one to Sammy Ben, but he or no kakana can get me jam and with no the motivation you be okay. Timbo be happiness be or the dinner issue a room no happy and no crama or Jimo Bono. But the question all these things Ubian so American women telling that let's go all out. But the also the day your friend asked when you came on eh okay more may think it may be more than 3 and
all right. Yo. Ose, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Nana, optimism is high. Optimism was high against Central African Republic, but then maybe the circumstances are different. Dede is one person who can tell them. Amate is also there, Jordan, Atizigi and the rest, they've been to the World Cup itself. But the qualification process, the psyche, how you need to tune up when you're coming from club, it's all switch it off. Forget about getting injured, forget about all those things. All out.
You focus on the prestige that comes with playing at the World Cup. You know, and the fact that you've been called up from your club to your national team is a privilege. Like Sam Johnson said, I'm wondering what runs through the minds of these guys when they put on the national jersey and the national anthem is being played and they get onto the field to play for Ghana. You know, so they know the enormity of the task better than we do. And they know the gains that come with winning games for the national team.
Absolutely. Ote, Kolegono, good evening. I just saying, you're on the line. You're on.
Hello?
Yes, Ote.
How are you?
I'm fine. Ote Gaba.
Yeah, the one that only attract this elite supporter in Ghana now.
That's right.
Please, I want another part to tell Anawaka that I'm begging him on my knees. If he goes away, he shouldn't go and fight away. He should play defensive and get 1 point. I know he can do it. He knows how to defend. He shouldn't go for goals. See, you have played first half clean. Then second half, you consider 2 goals. Why? If you go away, just another company. Anoka is my friend. He knows me. I'll send the message to you. I'm maybe the other giving the message. And another come begging you. Give me the message and you say Gaba. Said if she goes away, she will go and play for 3 points. If she just go and play for only 1 point, you want because Accra will win. We win in Accra, but we will not lose any match in Accra. So if he goes away, he should just play defense and get 1 point for him. He shouldn't go for 3 points. Me, if Olympics is going away, I don't say we are going to win because I know Ghana Premier League before we win away, it's very tough. The guys say away, power. You see, so if you go, just go and play defense. But I want to talk about the Black Stars. Nobody should panic. Nobody should panic. We are going to beat Madagascar by 4 goals today. And tomorrow, Iñaki will score.
Yeah. Inaki at last.
Bye-bye.
Yo, bye-bye. Nice and simple. Everybody's very confident. Where is that confidence coming from? There's a trust, regardless of the friendly matches. So those were friendly matches. This is the World Cup. It's almost like this is Ghana, and we know how to navigate.
I like the confidence that all of us have. I don't know about Joe, but I'm extremely confident about the chances of the team. But I'm also very cautious about complacency. The fact that the Frank is Madagascar, Kumasi is a fortress. The Black Stars, as a matter of fact, let's make this point clear. The Black Stars have never lost a World Cup qualifier in Kumasi.
And the Madagascar team will be thinking the same. Already, you know, a psychological down. But it could also motivate a team.
Some Black Stars to Kumasi.
So,
the only thing that can motivate an away team now, has to do with the performance of the Black Stars.
Right.
Yes, the name is there. We've seen the records. We've never lost at home in a World Cup qualifier at Kumasi. But then the performance is one thing that we need to keep an eye on.
Okay, Mohamed Dakuman. Hello, Mohamed. Let's listen to you. Yes, you're on.
Hello?
Yes, we're listening to you. Go ahead. Okay, Mohamed cannot hear me. Yeah, you know, the confidence is very high. It's great. And it's also good for Chris Hughton. Yeah. It will put him back.
This is that one game
he must win.
He must win to get Ghanaians back in him again. There's a sharp division as to whether he's the right man for the job or not. Even within the hierarchy of the GFA. Not everybody is cool with the job he's doing, but you've contracted him, and so you need to hand him your backing and your support.
I don't have a
for
problem.
Chris Hughton, he's never coached at the World Cup.
Yeah.
He was only an advisor when Ghana played the last time at the World Cup. So you should know that it goes into his CV. He's able to mastermind the qualification for the Black Stars.
We're looking at our goalkeepers. We'll talk about that in a bit. Mohammed, back. Hi, Mohammed. Good evening. Let's say. Good. Into you.
Patrol Ghana team now on. Omudi go too much. Omudi go too much. When I got omudi serious.
Penny for bang.
Call goalkeeping staff now. Share. Olele omudina ko dinanim. Olele ko benonim da. Coaching staff be
wait.
Assemble no
wait. But I said Olele meba. Olele World Cup goalkeepers, Africa cry rating. I mean, he was the top African goalkeeper at the World Cup.
Ghana keeper be at English Premier League.
What else do you have to say? Hello. Go ahead. I was just correcting you. Said Olele does not qualify, which that's not true. He does qualify. But go ahead.
I was so much from players go some drop you, especially Amate on new confidence on him.
You see, sometimes no, I'm not defending him, but this is a typical football fan. So sometimes it's all the chomo. That's an dream. No, but we have to educate him.
Even you go to the Western world, some use very denigrating language.
Right.
But I'm saying that these are
the majority.
The words that break down the players.
Right.
On the eve of a game, here's somebody who is saying a Premier League winning defender, good. Goalkeeper, no wako English Premier League
club.
Wako 2 World Cups. Uzu onimishi. There be a I'll say, Modimono bono, and so any. But to say so many, I think it's below the belt, and nobody would take it.
Let's use our words, without.
I can't choose your words for you, but I'll not take these words.
Yeah, let's have decorum. Decorum country, I kind of say. These are the boys. These are the players. Whether you agree or not, they represent the Black Stars, and spiritually, morally, everything. The motivation is not even a matter. These days, we don't hear about motivation, financial motivation at all. It's not even a subject for discussion, which is great. It means focus is there. You look at some of the clubs, you say, okay, apart from Anderlecht, West Ham, Le Havre, to an extent, they've been in a French campaign for a lot, but you need those times that Chelsea be and AC Milan and Juventus, but these are still the best players we have, at least per the selectors, right? These are the best players we can get.
There's a fine blend. There's a fine blend of, relatively younger and experienced players blending. And even in tactics-wise, there's a fine balance. If you look at the styles of the players they've called, Majid has a different style to Salis, and, Gideon might have to compete for that position, although he looks like the one who's going to play. But Abdul Fattah, the Mediama guy, can give him a good run for his money. Jonathan Soa, I'm not sure he'll be starting a Ghana game. But if you have Jonathan Soa as a backup for Inaki and Antoine Semenyo...
3 strikers, okay.
It's okay.
Yeah?
I think the strength also lies on, the laterals, the wingers. So that's where the strength will come
Ghana
from.
boss is here. So Kudus, Western for no money.
No, they play, he plays from the right hand side.
And boy and your friends saying, and there's Nyama, one of your best players in the last couple of games, or a winger. Yeah. One of Ghana's best performing players in Europe is Osman Bukari.
He's also a
wide man. Yeah. Joseph Prince, one of the best wingers for Ghana, or a wide man.
So I think that's where the services.
Balance.
It depends on how they
coach the best shape. And I will boss now lose.
Nana, I wish we could have this conversation. We could have this until goodness knows. Unfortunately, your time is so. But what we can promise is that I am promising and I am promising.
I would say.
What I can say is that we'll be bringing you updates on all our platforms, Max FM, online, and of course, television updates. Latest info. Nana Dakwa is close to the action. And of course, we hear things, and the ones that are what's the word? Palatable. You know, so tomorrow's match, then the build-up will start in the morning. Our time is up. Big thanks to Josiah Okukwe and also to Anna Dakwa Jesse. Two fine combinations when you're talking about the GPL commentary. Our time is up. Let's do it again tomorrow. Bye for now.